Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Elevated. I'm Sarah, and I'm super excited about today's topic.
Hey Sarah, and hey listeners, I'm Mike, and I'm thrilled to be here. We're tackling something super important for all you intermediate English learners. ACING, that interview.
Exactly. Mike, interviews can be so nerve-wracking, especially when you're doing them in a second language. So, we're going to break down some killer strategies to help you shine.
Absolutely. Let's start with the basics. What's the first thing that usually trips people up? Sarah?
I think it's understanding common interview questions and knowing how to structure your answers. People often panic and just ramble.
You're spot on. A good strategy is to familiarize yourself with common questions like, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Or, why do you want to work here? Single quote.
Right. And don't just memorize answers. Understand the underlying question and tailor your response to the specific company and role. Now, Mike, how do we answer these common questions?
Great question. We use the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. It's a lifesaver. Can I give an example?
Please do. Walk us through it.
Okay, let's say the question is, tell me about a time you faced a challenge at work. Situation. Briefly describe the context. Task. Explain what you needed to achieve. Action. Detail the steps you took to overcome the challenge. Result. Highlight the positive outcome and what you learned.
That's brilliant. So, it's like telling a mini story with a clear beginning, middle, and end. What if you don't have direct work experience?
You can absolutely use examples from school projects, volunteer work, or even personal experiences. The key is to demonstrate transferable skills like problem solving, teamwork, and communication.
Okay, this is super helpful. Now, let's talk about vocabulary. What are some common words or phrases that intermediate learners can use to impress interviewers?
Instead of saying, I'm good at, try, I'm proficient in, or, I have a strong command of. Instead of, I think, try, in my opinion, or, from my perspective.
Those are great alternatives. What about phrases to show enthusiasm and initiative?
Definitely. Use phrases like, I'm eager to learn, I'm proactive in seeking solutions, or, I'm passionate about contributing to your team.
Perfect. And pronunciation is key, right? Any tips for improving pronunciation for interviews?
Absolutely. Record yourself answering common interview questions and listen back critically. Pay attention to your intonation and clarity. Use online pronunciation tools to practice specific words or sounds that you find challenging.
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about recording myself. Now, let's get into some common interview mistakes. What are some pitfalls that intermediate learners should avoid?
One big one is using overly informal language. Remember, it's a professional setting. Avoid slang and keep your language formal.
Right. Another mistake is not doing your research on the company. You need to show that you're genuinely interested and that you understand their values and mission.
Exactly. And avoid speaking negatively about previous employers, even if you had a bad experience. Focus on what you learned and how you grew.
That's so important. Now, what about asking questions at the end of the interview? Is that necessary?
Absolutely. Asking thoughtful questions shows that you're engaged and interested. Prepare a few questions beforehand, but also be ready to ask follow-up questions based on the conversation.
What kind of questions are good to ask?
You could ask about the company's culture, the team's dynamics, or opportunities for professional development. Avoid asking questions about salary or benefits at this stage.
That makes sense. So, we've covered a lot of ground. Any other pro tips for acing that interview?
Practice. 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 Do mock interviews with friends or family members. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel. Also, remember to dress professionally and arrive on time, whether it's in person or virtual.
Right. And don't forget to send a thank you note after the interview, expressing your gratitude and reiterating your interest in the role.
Perfect. Also, try to relax and be yourself. Let your personality shine through. Interviewers want to see who you are as a person, not just a list of skills.
That's such great advice. Mike, thank you so much for sharing your expertise. I feel so much more confident about my next interview now.
My pleasure, Sarah. And remember, everyone, interviews are a two-way street. It's an opportunity for you to learn about the company and see if it's the right fit for you.
That's a really important point. So, to recap, prepare your answers using the STAR method. Expand your vocabulary. Practice your pronunciation. Avoid common mistakes. And remember to be yourself.
Exactly. And don't forget to do your research on the company and ask thoughtful questions at the end of the interview.
Okay, let's imagine a listener asks, what if I freeze up during the interview and can't think of anything to say? Single quote.
That's a common fear. It's okay to take a moment to collect your thoughts. You can say something like, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment."
Good tip. What if they ask a question you really don't know the answer to?
Be honest. Don't try to bluff your way through it. You can say something like, "I'm not familiar with that specific topic, but I'm eager to learn more about it."
Great. One last question. Is it okay to ask about salary expectations during the first interview? Single quote.
It's generally best to avoid discussing salary expectations in the first interview. Wait until you have a better understanding of the role and the company's compensation structure.
Perfect. Well, Mike, this has been incredibly helpful. Any last words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Just remember to believe in yourself and your abilities. You've got this. And good luck to everyone on their job search.
Yes. And thank you all for tuning in to English Elevated. We hope you found this episode helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review.
And be sure to check out our next episode, where we'll be discussing advanced English grammar tips for professional writing.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one. Thanks again, Mike, and thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks, Sarah, and thanks to our amazing listeners. See you next time.